Hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's presentation of OTF Connects, OTF Planboard, Online Planning Made Easy with Andrew Bieronski. And we're really thrilled to have you here tonight and giving up some of your own time to learn about this tool that will hopefully save you some time in the long run. Andrew's got all kinds of resources and tips and tricks and ways to understand how you can use this tool for to your advantage in your classroom, and we're really thrilled to have Andrew here with us tonight. And I certainly extend the same appreciation from Sirius Skirhan, who's the administrator and facilitator of the OTF Connects program, who isn't able to be with us tonight. And she sends her thanks to all of you for giving up some time and coming and hanging out with us tonight. Andrew, I think now would be a great time for you to introduce yourself a little bit, and then I'll do my little bit, and then we'll go back over to you.
Hi everyone, so thank you for joining us. As Louise said, my name is Andrew Bieronski, and as you can see on the slide there, I'm a secondary teacher in Kitchener. I teach at Huron Heights Secondary School. I'm a huge fan of Planboard, I cannot say enough. I was probably one of their first users actually, the way it worked out. It's been about over 2 years now, I believe. And they've developed a great deal over time. It's something that's really evolved, and I can't say enough good things about it, so I'm really excited to share it all with you tonight. A few things about me, just kind of looking ahead for the presentation. It kind of might sound strange, but for a 90-minute session, there's actually a lot to show you. I actually had to cut features out that I really like using because there's not enough time to go through everything. So the way I've set it up is I'm going to go through some sections. I've got some demo videos to show you that you can watch at your own pace, and then we'll take some questions, and I built in some time for you to play, and then we'll kind of come back to the next piece as we move on ahead. And then I'm happy to stick around at the end to answer any questions as well and help people with individual problems. But Louise, for now, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And now's a good time for me to also say that, as Andrew said, he's got lots of stuff, and there'll be definitely things that you'll want to go back to afterwards and review and spend a little more time while you're playing in your account and setting things up for your classrooms. The recording that we're doing tonight will be posted to a resource page that will be on the OTF Connects website. It's actually the OTF Connects section of the OTF website, and I already have the link for that resource page set up. The resources aren't all on it yet, of course, but I'm going to drop that in the chat so that we've got that already available to us. Plop that in here, and so you can see how links show up in the chat, and when you click on links in the chat, it will open a browser window for you, and you'll have things there. But you will get a follow-up email tomorrow that has the resource page link, as well as any of the resources that that Andrew connects us with tonight, which is primarily some really fantastic videos that he's made, nice and detailed ones that you'll be able to go through at your leisure. So OTF Planboard is somebody have a question or a comment? Are we okay? We're all good? Okay. So OTF Planboard, as Andrew said, Planboard is a really fantastic tool that's been developing and improving over the last couple of years, probably longer than that, Andrew, you can correct me, but the OTF Planboard a partnership has been a little bit more recent, and we're now in our second year with OTF Planboard, and it's definitely an initiative that that OTF was interested in creating because lots of teachers, you know, the more support tools that you have available to you, the more that you're going to be able to kind of make use of them in your classroom to save time, to integrate, to collaborate and share and create in ways that make learning and teaching more fun, I hope, for all of you, as well as connect you to people outside of your immediate school community and hopefully quite likely within your school community as well. It's a really fantastic tool, and we're pleased with the feedback that we've gotten from our teacher members who have been using it. And so for OTF members, it is a free tool. You have the ability to set up your account and create lessons, share lessons, do a lot of planning. The calendar tool is fantastic, and Andrew's going to go into all those details there as well. OTF also created a database of many sample lessons that have been called from other OTF initiatives and projects that are available to you. They're tagged, they're connected, they have a lot of support documentation, so unit planners and lesson plans and things like that that are all already there that have been created by your Ontario colleagues that are relevant to our own curriculum here in Ontario. And Andrew's going to discuss at length how the curriculum expectations are built into OTF Planboard, and you're going to be able to keep track of the lessons that you have done and what curriculum expectations you have addressed, and what else you still have to work through with your classes. Important to OTF Planboard, as opposed to regular Planboard, we'll call it, is that OTF members have unlimited storage. And you can attach documents and include hyperlinks and all kinds of stuff to make your lesson planning as effective as you would like it to be. Okay, I'm going to hand things back over to Andrew now because he's going to be able to give you a much more full picture of why OTF Planboard is a handy tool for you to have.
All right, so I guess you can call this a little bit of a pitch, just kind of why I love OTF Planboard and why I think it's a great resource for teachers. So Louise did a good job of covering a lot of it there. First, I got a little history for myself as a shift for my lesson planning. I started off with a paper book. I was writing my things down. It was nice for tracking from some standpoints, but I always had a lot of difficulties. Like I had to switch something up and want to move things around, and it involved a lot of erasing or ripping pages out and moving other spots. And I eventually evolved to using Microsoft Word, and I created a table in a Word document. I kind of plugged my lessons in there, which is a little better, but I would run into a snow day, and then I'd spend about 45 minutes of my snow day copying, pasting things, and moving the day forward in my schedule. And I was spending a fair bit of time actually looking for something that was online and web-based, and I tried some other ones and finally came across Planboard, and it was just kind of like blew my mind in its infancy stages 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, and it's come so far since. So it's got a lot of really fantastic features, which I'm excited to share with you all today. So I'm just going to jump through these here. So it's kind of a few basics here. One, with OTF Planboard, you have the ability to search the OTF's kind of bank of resources they built. There's a few hundred lesson plans in there that you can import directly into your planner within Planboard, which is a fantastic option. You can obviously build your own lesson plans. One feature that I personally really love is that they've built in all the Ontario curriculum from kindergarten all the way up through the end of high school. You can actually tag through your lesson plans based on the Ontario curriculum documents and kind of keep track of what you've covered throughout this semester or throughout the school year, see what you've done and what you haven't done. As a web-based tool, it's really nice in that you can go and embed lessons. You can upload any lesson documents you have, so it might be handouts you have, overheads, whatever you like. You can insert images. You can do a lot of easy tracking and moving around. And also from a sharing standpoint, you can share links to other teachers or colleagues. If you're sick for a day, or if you've got a child who's got to stay home and it's like last second, you can just kind of pop into Planboard, click the email feature, send them off to your secretary at your school, your department head, and you're taken care of for the day. So it's a lot of really nice features that they've covered off for us. All right, with that in mind, I'm going to get into my basic intro here and just going to remind you all, because I know I've had some people join since. I want to talk about how this is going to kind of play out as a session, how I'm planning to run this. Traditionally, I really like to have it kind of free-flowing, have people jump in, but we've got a little over 20 people here. So I'm going to ask that for the most part, if you've got questions, throw them in the chat, but I've built in specific times for people to ask questions and kind of people to go and play and try things out and come back with questions after they tried. So you could hold off a little bit till we get to those spots. I think that would help things flow more smoothly here and make sure I can get through everything before we're done. So one thing I want to start off with here is the idea of chalk.com. Planboard started off originally as just a web-based tool by itself, and it's now evolved into chalk.com, where Planboard is one tool of a suite of tools they're building. So Planboard was their first one, and now they're moving on. So the second one they're looking at is called Markboard, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and it's looking at an online grade book essentially and rubric builder, so you can kind of track student assessment. It'll be kind of tied and connected into Planboard in your lesson plans. We've got a lot of great ideas there. It's only in beta right now, but they're planning to do a full launch with a lot of additional features coming in March. They're also looking at Attend Board, which is a way to track attendance, which hasn't been built yet, but they're looking to add that in soon as well. And then there's a dashboard for kind of tracking for yourself. So if you ever go to chalk.com, it's a kind of a hub for you to log in, and you can access Planboard from there. Next up for the OTF standpoint for OTF Planboard. There is regular Planboard, and then there's OTF Planboard. OTF Planboard gives you a few extra like higher end or kind of pro or paid features for free as an Ontario teacher. We'll go to there's a site you can go into create an account, and I've got the link in here shortly if you have not created an account yet. If you are a current Planboard user or have already signed up for Planboard and you'd like to upgrade to OTF Planboard, you can just fire off a quick email to Planboard and let them know that you're an Ontario teacher and like to switch over to OTF, and they can make that switch for you. If you've already been doing some building or lessons or some scheduling, all that will carry over with it for you, so you don't have to worry about anything there. Okay, going to take you through the basics here. So I've got some screenshots. I'm going to move at, and so I always have a tough time doing these because I've got some people who are really new to this and have no idea, and I've got some people who play around with it a bit, and some people have used it a fair bit. So I'm going to kind of shoot for the middle, and just keep in mind I'm going to share all these slides with you. You can come back and watch this, and everything I say you're going to get a chance to watch in a video shortly after I've been done talking. So if I'm going a little too fast for you, it'll probably get covered in the video again for you. All right. So whether you've already built your Planboard account or OTF Planboard account or are going to go do that shortly, very early on you're going to end up having to create your semester first of all or your year. So the basic look is here, and they've got a lot of personalization features. I played around with a number of online lesson builders or lesson planner scheduling builders, and I think by far Planboard blows everyone else out of the water for the amount of personalization you can do. When you think about going worldwide, there's a lot of funky schedules out there, and they've actually come a long way that you can kind of get it to work to whatever your school's set up as. So the first thing you have to do is to name your semester. Then you're going to choose a start date and end date. And then the next feature is going to ask you to choose. You have to choose one of those boxes that are in gray there. So you can either choose you have one group of students or that you teach more than one group of students. If you're a primary teacher and you're saying doing grade 3 and you've got the same group all day, you look for one group of students. If you're a rotation teacher, like say a French teacher at your primary school, or if you're a secondary teacher and you've got multiple sections or multiple kids, multiple groups of kids, you're going to go for the second group and say you've got more than one group. Once you've done that, you're going to have to create classes or your courses for your semester or for your year. So you just go up there in the top left, you see this little add subject button. You're going to click on that, and then you can enter subject name, and then also some personalization features there too. So you've got some unique colors, and there's a more button for you to kind of color code that section. That's really nice when you actually get to your weekly or monthly view for your schedule. And then underneath that, you have a chance to add standard or curriculum expectations. Planboard for Ontario has every single course built in there for the entire province, every grade, and you can actually see every specific curriculum expectation. I recommend you add these in now because as you go and do your lesson planning, you can very quickly and easily check off what specific strands you are covering throughout the semester and actually do some tracking of how you've covered and what you have covered and what you have not covered throughout the semester. I'll be touching more on that a bit later. Okay, jumping ahead with that. Once you've added your courses, and again, if you're playing around with this today, you can just kind of play around with a bit. You can come back and delete courses. You can add new courses in. You can delete your semester. And if you want to just test it out, you can come back and re-add a new semester. It's very simple to go back and change things. So don't worry about doing anything wrong today. But after that, you're going to click onto your schedule. And then you have to go and actually build your schedule, your rotation for the semester, for the school year. If you look off to the far left there, you can see like the section I have at Math Section 1. You'll have a chance there to kind of pick your courses. You're going to do this section by section or course by course or class by class. After you've done that, if you look up to more on the top right, you'll see where it says rotation schedule. This is a really important feature that some people miss. You want to make sure you get this one right. They give you a great deal of options. So you can do like weekly, you can do it bi-weekly or monthly, I believe, for rotation, or you can go anywhere from a 1-day to, I believe, a 12-day rotation for your school. It's really important you check that off because you're going to add in things like holidays, PD days, off days throughout the semester, and Planboard will kind of build around all that and uniquely for that. And if you add a skip day, like I said, you have a snow day that was unexpected, it will just automatically bump all your lesson plans forward ahead of you and fix your schedule for you without you doing anything. So as you're working through that, after you've picked the rotation there, you're going to see the option for the day. So for your math section, that's when you're on. You're going to see if this is on, I have this set for a 5-day rotation. And if you set it for, say, day 2 and day 4, you would check those off. You check the times for that specific section, and then you click Insert Class. If you also have that math class and say it's at 10:30 on to 10:30 to 11 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you would come back and recheck the boxes for day 1, day 3, day 5, and then click Insert again by changing those times. And sorry, I'm just reading Colleen's question. If you're a student or faculty of ed associate, yes, I believe you can get an OTF Planboard account. Just email Planboard if you're having English with you. You should be able to sign up with an email there. And James, there's a question there from you too. How to sign in, I've got a link to it coming here shortly. If you just search OTF Planboard, you should see the link for it in Google right away. But if not, we've got the link coming up very shortly for you. All right, so those are the basics kind of for your set schedule rotation. And again, if you want to change anything, it's very easy to personalize or fix it after the fact. So feel free to just kind of play around with it today. You're not going to screw anything up. And on that note, the idea of simple personalization, once you've got these classes added in, you can actually very simply, you can drag and drop a course. If I want to move one class to another day and change it around, I can do that. I can, there's a slider, if you see the little kind of white button in each box at the bottom and the middle. You can drag that up and down and kind of change the timelines on a day-to-day basis throughout the semester as well. And then also when you're in this kind of builder here for your schedule, there's a little options button in the top hand right, and this is a really nice feature as well. So if you click on options, you get a chance to add in your off days throughout the semester. If you click on the add holidays button, you can actually choose your country. So for us being here for OTF in Ontario, it would be Canada, and it will build in, I'll actually insert the automatic holidays. So for this coming semester, I believe they've got, it's just Canada-wide, so Family Day is not in there. I had to add that one personally, but you can add, it'll add in, I think Easter Friday and Sunday, sorry, Easter Friday, Monday, and Victoria Day. It'll default those in for you automatically. And then if you click on the add, you can go and add other days. So March break, you can add in as a block off for lesson plans for that day. You can block off PD days, any day you're not teaching. I would highly recommend you do that because as you're planning your semester, it won't let you plan a lesson for that day. And if you shift lessons, it'll automatically shift around those days that you have booked off. This is, again, another really nice feature that I appreciate. All right. Again, if I'm going a little too fast for some people right now, I apologize, but I promise you there'll be a video to take you through it again. So how I've got this set up right now is I want to show you some screenshots and kind of talk you through it. And now is a chance for you to kind of leave and watch the first video. Just kind of takes you through the setup. You can watch me go through everything, see how it works. I think it's about a 9-minute video. We'll post a link in here for you a sec so you can kind of go off on your own and watch it. While you're doing this, I recommend that you leave your mic on or kind of your connection to Blackboard Collaborate so you can see when we're kind of picking up. The plan after this is kind of we'll give you a chance to play around with yourself and then come in here and ask any questions. Okay, so right now, if we'll get that link posted in for the video, if you want to go watch the video, and then you have a chance to ask any questions or go and try it out yourself.
Okay, folks, I've just posted the link in the chat. I'm also going to drop it into our web tour so that instead of a whiteboard, you're going to see that video there, and it's going to start right away. And give us a green check mark if you're all good with the video, and you can give us another green check mark when you're finished watching.
Okay, it looks like most people are back, and I hope that video was helpful and made sense to most of you. And again, if it was a little too quick for you, you can come back and watch it again. Again, you've got the link there. I'll be sharing all these slides with you, and this presentation will be posted online later. How I built it in right now is I wanted you, like, after watching and having heard me talk about it, I wanted to give you all about 5 or 6 minutes to go into Planboard now. If you haven't created an account yet, the link is right there to create an OTF Planboard account. If you have just a Planboard account right now, you can still go play and make any changes you want and fire that email off to chalk.com later to have you switched over to an OTF account. So feel free to go in and play, check it out, and come back here and ask any questions. We'll take about 5 or 6 minutes for this. Cheryl, that's a really interesting question. You can at any time. So again, if you're working on, sorry, just reading through this here, if you're on day 4, so I can block it off, you can just leave it open as a 5-day, not as schedule anything for day 4. And then if it switches, like you're going to go on for 2 weeks, we're going to be working day 4 and off day 5, you can just go back into your schedule and make those changes. After you've been lesson planning, any changes you make to the schedule template that you're using only affects that day going forward. So it's actually, it won't affect anything going backwards, which is really nice because you already passed those days anyways. So any adjustments you make as you're going, you can just go into the settings, change your schedule around, and then it will follow that through. And if it switches up again, you can go back and change it to whatever you like. Does that make sense? It's a really good question, Katerina, and not one I've had before. If you can leave it blank and it'll let you go forward, I would say just do that. If it's not letting you leave it blank, you'd actually check to see if you can put in the school you're at right now. So you could like put in Queens or Western or wherever you are, if that's a possibility. You can always change the school you're at later down the road too, so it's not a big deal for what you select for right now. So yeah, it's really up to you based on, I mean, you could just leave you could have a day 40 in your schedule and just leave it completely blank, so it would be there to add things in as you went, but you could just have nothing built in at the start. Or you could just, yeah, I think that'd be my recommendation. If you have nothing on day 4 right now, just have it as a 5-day rotation if that's what the school works on, or a weekly rotation if that's what the school works on, and just leave day 4 blank with nothing in there. And then you can add things later on if you want to go, if it changes. One thing to keep in mind, I believe I highlighted this in the video, as you're picking the rotation schedule for your specific school, there is a difference between a 5-day rotation and a weekly rotation. If you book off weekly, it's kind of following the idea of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you're coming off a 3-day weekend where Monday was a holiday, if you choose weekly, that next week will start on like the 2nd day as a Tuesday. If you chose it as a 5-day rotation, if you finished off on day 5 on Friday and you had Monday off, Tuesday would be set to a day 1. So I hope we can kind of see the difference there between a 5-day or a weekly rotation. Sorry, Cheryl, so the way you set up, is it set up right now like you can't input anything for day 4, like there's nothing available there? Or is it set up as there's just nothing scheduled in that space? Cheryl, you can definitely add input any time. If you just go back into the settings and click on the semester and go to your schedule, then you can add any content in there or not add content as you wish, as you choose, or delete out or add in at any point in time. And Jesse, so have you created your account and logged in? Okay, so if you go to the email, I think there'll be just like a confirmation there. So if you click the link inside the email for the confirmation, I think it should take you to Planboard. Or you can just go back, if you create your account, and just go back to chalk.com or OTF Planboard and log in.
Andrew, I'm wondering, you probably point out later on, but I know that if they're in Planboard and they exit out to their chalk dashboard,
Yep.
Can you walk them through how they find themselves back in Planboard?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're in the chalk dashboard or anywhere in chalk, if you checked out Markboard or clicked on the 10 board, there's 3 little dots in the top right. It should kind of be towards beside the settings gear. If you click on those 3 little dots, you should see a drop-down box. It'll say Planboard, Markboard, or 10 board in your dashboard. If you just click on Planboard there, it should take you right back into your lesson plans. Okay, time's up there. And again, you can come back and play this later, and I will definitely take more questions at the end of the session if you want to stick around. But there is actually a lot to go through, and I want to keep moving here. So I'm going to jump on to the next section. All right, so hopefully most of you at least were able to get in there and kind of get a chance to build a few courses and see how the schedule worked. Once you've built your rotation, you can come into the daily, weekly, or monthly view and actually look to start doing some lesson planning. Before I get to the actual lesson planning though, I want to go through some basic functionality once you've created your rotation. So right here, this is the weekly view screen. You can see I've added a couple classes in there. They're color-coded. You can see my rotation, the dates there. So a few things. We start off to the far left there. A new piece that Planboard just released about a week and a half ago is a unit planner. It's a really, really nice tool. I'm excited to talk to you about it later. I'll come back more towards the end of the presentation once we've gone through some of the basic stuff first. So you can quickly jump to anywhere in your calendar very simply. At the top there where it says week of February 1, 2015, there's a little calendar button beside that. You can click that and you get a very quick view so you can jump ahead to any day you like. Off to the right a bit more, you can see there's 4 buttons, either day, week, month, or unit, which are pretty self-explanatory. It's just different views. I spend most of my time in the weekly view, personally. Some people prefer the day view. Month isn't really a builder, but you can kind of get a quick overview of what you're looking at for each class this semester. Then I'll show that in a demo video to you shortly. And then lastly, unit. Up to the far right there, there's a share button. There are a lot of options for sharing within Planboard. For some people, it's not really that important. For others, they use it very consistently. When you click on the share button, you can email something out. You can do this from the day view or the week view. And it gives you a unique link just for you. You can type in someone's address and it will send you your lesson plans for the day. Again, if you're going to be sick, or if an emergency pops up in the first thing in the morning before class, it's a fantastic feature. You can just pop in, click share, click email, add your head secretary, principal, vice principal, department head, whoever it may be, click send, and it's done for you. I've used it a few times myself, and it's a huge time saver. And I can feel very comfortable that my detailed lesson plans got to where I need them to be. And from the weekly view here, if you click anywhere within a box or in the day view on a lesson itself, it'll jump up to the lesson builder, and we'll get to that a bit later too. Okay, just moving on here. So just going to go through different views here. So this is the day view. I can see the first section I've got scheduled for that day. If I scroll down, I'd see my other sections for this specific day, just for that day. Off to the right is a little kind of a sticky pad. It's actually tied to that day in one memory or notes for yourself. So I'll use this kind of before my lesson plans. I can look over them in the morning, kind of give myself a few reminders for things I want to cover down. I also really like it to come back to after I finish the lesson to kind of highlight to myself what went well or what something didn't go well, something I want to kind of change later down the road. It's a nice kind of little sticky pad there too, so you can come back and look and kind of give yourself some reminders about previous lessons you've done. And again, you can jump ahead to the schedule. You can see the schedule off to the side there. If you click on a separate day, you'll jump off to that day. Next up, we've got the week view. And I was talking about that right there. Again, nice oversight. You can only see my first 2 periods here, but if I scroll down on the screen, you'll be able to see all my lessons throughout the day. We were talking about in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if everyone caught it, but if you want to, say, do lunch or meetings a lot of times, or if you want to have a prep period, you can just build those into your schedule as classes. So you can go if you want, again, only if you create a section does it allow you to edit within that time space. So if you want to put notes for yourself for your prep period, create a class that says prep. You don't need to attach any curriculum to it. If you want to put in a lunch period, that's great. If you want to block off an hour or so after school for scheduling for yourself, just create a block that says after school. And you can do some editing that way too. I also mentioned the month view here. So the month view is just going to kind of pull up your lesson title, the semester and color code, so you can kind of see a very quick snapshot of what you've got planned throughout the semester by a month-to-month view for all your courses. And next up here after the month view, this is their brand new unit view planner. Again, I'll be actually dedicated a video just this later on in the session, so we'll be coming back to this. But I want to give you a quick look at it here. Really nice feature. You can look at it by a specific course. You can see throughout all your lessons for that entire semester just for that course. And you can tag things off by specific units. You can move them around in here. You can see it date by date, and any changes you make to a lesson here or to the ordering of them changes it right back in your schedule from Planboard. All right, second up for the basic functionality, and then this is what Lee's just kind of asked about, kind of navigating around. So in the top right-hand corner, you've got 4 options, or 4 or 5 main options there. The first one is your schedule in your planner. If you click that many times, it's going to jump back into your lessons. That's where you're going to be spending probably 90–95% of your time. But if you ever leave that screen and want to get back to your lessons, just click the little calendar. It will take you back to your planner there. The next up is specifically for standards and expectations. If you've already added them in when you went and built the course, you're probably not going to use this one too much throughout the semester, but you can go back and edit that way at any time for what you have tagged to your specific courses. The nice thing through standards and expectations too is that you can do tracking throughout the semester. So if you want to see what you've covered down for the course, you have to take, say, the quarter waypoint in the semester. If you click on standards and expectations here, you can go on, click on a specific semester, and then look at a course and see how many of the specific expectations you have covered, which ones you haven't covered. They're color-coded. We'll get to that in a bit later. The third button there is this little setting gear for settings and preferences. Any editing to your semester, your personal profile, things like that are done there. The fourth one, the three little dots, is to access the chalk.com apps. For the most part there, you're going to be spending most of your time in Planboard. You'll see Markboard there as well, and I mentioned earlier, Markboard is something they're working on right now. You can go in and you can actually play around, but it's in what they call beta right now, so it's kind of like a testing version for them. They're planning to do a full launch in March. I guess I'd check it out. For me personally, it's not robust enough for me to use for my marking right now, but I'm really excited for what they have coming in March, so keep your eye out for that. A little teaser, it's kind of really cool. It's going to sync back and forth with Planboard, so things you do within Planboard will automatically populate things in Markboard and vice versa. So there's really cool options, what they've got ideas for there that I haven't seen from anyone else yet. And lastly, the help feature, a little question mark. If you click on the help feature, there's an FAQ page. They've actually built in a lot of video tutorials themselves. You can go and watch them nice and quick and short to see how to do things, and they are fantastic from a support standpoint. One of the best things I can say about Planboard is that their support is like beaten by nobody from as far as I'm concerned. Sometimes you can see like where it says leave a message at the bottom there. If you see that, you can actually start a live chat with someone right from Planboard and ask them a live question there. So if someone's online, you can start that. If not, you can fire them an email, and they guarantee that at the latest you'll hear back within 24 hours. My experience has usually been about half an hour to an hour at the latest that I hear back from them when I have a question. Also, if they have features that you want, they don't have, they love getting feedback. So if you're going through this and you're saying like, oh, it doesn't do this, or I want to do this, please let them know. They actually really appreciate that. I've used it probably 5 or 6 times. There's a bunch of features in here that I've been requesting for, and they actually go out and make sure they get in there for you. So I mentioned if I clicked on these standards and expectations, this is the view you get. So you can actually see the courses you've built in and look at the tracking of the curriculum standards. So the first example I've got there is an ENG 2DI course. For Ontario, there are 85 curriculum expectations. The little green bar shows how much I've covered. So in this case, I've covered 6 out of 85 at this point in this tracking system here. If I click on that little line, it'll actually show me all 85 of the curriculum expectations, and it'll have a little green box beside it to show me if I have covered or not, so I can see very quickly what I have or have not covered. Next up is the settings and preferences view that I mentioned. So this is where you come if you want to create a new semester or term, or if you want to delete one. So again, if today you've been playing around with things and kind of not happy with how it went, or you want to switch things up or start over, you just come in here, click the little X, delete a semester, and start over again by creating a new one. If you see the little box that says Migrate section, if this is your first time through, it won't be important to you right now, but it's going to be a lifesaver for you next year if you're reteaching the same course or the same section. You can actually go in when you create a new semester, and you can import previous courses into Planboard. So if, like, for example, in September next year, if you've built this course, say for grade 3, and you're teaching grade 3 again next year, when you go in, you can actually set, like, you'd set the start date and end date for next year, put in your PDAs, things like that, and the holidays, and then just import last year's lessons, and it will copy that and put that into the new schedule for you. So, like, bang, done, nice and easy on the correct dates for a new school year. You can obviously go in and tweak and change things around a little bit, but for a starting point, it's a really, really nice feature that saved me a ton of time. And looking at here, there's also an option for templates within settings here. Templates are really nice. You can create basic templates for your lesson plans for specific courses. You can make it a default for a course, or just pull them up when you want to pull them up. So an example might be every lesson plan you're doing, you start off with, say, a learning goal, the success criteria for that class, for that lesson, and like the resources you need, and then the basic lesson unit. If you want to add those headings in, you can create a template for that, and then going forward, that text will already be there for you. You can personalize your template however you want, and you can add it or take it away from any course at any time. So I'll show you that a bit later too. Okay, moving on here. I mentioned the talk.com map, so I won't go through that too much more, but if you click on the 3 buttons there, you can kind of jump back and forth. If you ever leave Planboard, say go to Markboard and check out your dashboard, you can click on this again and then come back to Planboard very simply. Okay, wanted to give you a chance to, again, I'm rushing through this a little faster than I'd like to go, but I want to make sure I get through everything. So I put another video here for you to kind of demonstrate all the functionality I was talking about there. If some of you are chomping at the bit to get to lesson planning, that's next up on the list. So I want to show the basic functionality here. So same as last time, if you want to just go off and watch the video, we'll get the link posted in the chat feature there for you very shortly. You can leave, please leave your mics on because we'll be taking questions after you're done. And again, same idea. Once you've watched the video, go try it for yourself for a few minutes. Come in here and ask any questions you have. All right, thanks.
Before I hit enter, Andrew, I know you're going to probably go back up in the chat now, but there are a few questions there that are beyond me.
Sure, I'll just scroll back here. Cheryl, that's a good question. Sorry, Alyssa, you said list your 5-week. So your leak is a 5-day cycle, but the cycle's days are not correct for the days they start. If you can restart from any time you want. If you go to the day view in your planner, if you look up in the top left-hand corner, it'll say kind of what day of the rotation you're on. If it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, C, D, just go to a day that where you want to start over again from day 1. Click that. You can select the day you want to start on, and that will repopulate the rest of your semester going ahead. Let me know if you can figure that out, if that makes sense. Okay, Louise, I think we should continue on here. Just keep moving. I want to be conscious of the time and make sure we finish on time. Okay, welcome back everyone. Hopefully the functionality video made sense. Before I take any kind of big questions in the space here, I actually want to show you how actual lesson planning works, which is what we're all really here for. But I want to start with all the basics and get you comfortable with how we can move around Planboard and OTF Planboard, and now actually look at some lesson planning. So I've got a few more quick slides to show you, and then another video for you to watch, and then I'll have some time for you to actually go and play and try it out, and I can take any questions there too. All right, so to get to a lesson builder within the weekly view or daily view, if you just click into the box for a lesson, you're going to pop up into an editor. In a lot of ways, it should look very familiar to you. It'll look just like you're in Microsoft Word or in a Google Doc. And it's got very similar basic functionality there. So you can do bold, italics, underline. You can have a bullets or a numbered list. You can insert images right into Planboard, so upload an image from your computer. You can actually embed videos right in a lesson plan too. So me personally, I actually share my lessons with my students. They have access online or for kids away, and I just post them to my website as a link. And students can go there. For example, if there's a YouTube video watching, they can watch that from home and watch it right from the lesson plan, where they can see the learning goal and success criteria there. So it's a really nice feature. I'll show you how to do that in a sec. You can hyperlink to other websites, which is really nice if you want students to have access to things. You're not having them type out an entire web address. They can just come into it, click on the link, and it takes them off to there. At the bottom there where it says Add Standards, that's where you're going to go and tag your expectations. So if you cover a lesson, you're covering off 4 expectations, you click on Add Standards. You can scroll through and just kind of quickly check off the ones you want, and it'll pop up little boxes there where you can see what you have covered for that lesson, and it will automatically track them for you throughout the semester. If you go back into that Standards and Expectations box, you can see what you have covered and what you haven't covered there. Beside that, there's an upload file. As was mentioned earlier with OTF Planboard, you get unlimited storage space, so you can upload whatever files you have. If it's a Word file, PDF, pictures, you can upload those to this lesson plan. They'll be kind of stored in the cloud for you, so you can access them from anywhere. So if you upload them here from home, go into work the next day, jump on a computer in the computer lab, you can download those lessons or view them right from within Planboard there. And then the template selection. So we talked and you watched in the previous video how you can build the templates. Once you've built those templates, if you click on template selection, you can choose which of your templates that you've built that you want to use, select it, and that template will automatically show up in this lesson plan for you. Okay, going to slide on here. Again, one of the things I love about Planboard, that's pretty basic so far, but then you get a lot of the fantastic options by being web-based in the cloud. So you click off the options there. You can copy lessons. You can go from one spot to another. For those of you who teach multiple sections, I'm a secondary teacher, for example, and I teach English. And so if I had 2 sections of grade 10 academic English, so section 1, section 2, and it was period A and B, when you're actually building, you can set it up that when you build a lesson plan for one, it automatically creates that lesson in the other. Or if you want to copy a lesson from one spot to another place, you can just copy it here, go and paste it elsewhere, pick the date, and it will copy that lesson there. The next feature, to move a lesson, you can kind of drag it left or right, switch a day up, change the order of things around. The next two, the shift left, I actually love this button. I think I mentioned earlier the idea of like a snow day or an unexpected day off. I used to have a Microsoft Word file, and I would literally spend half an hour to 45 minutes copying and pasting every day forward to move up my schedule. With Planboard, it's a simple click. Click on Options, click on Shift Lesson Forward, and all your lessons throughout the semester for that course get moved up a day, or you can move back a day. And then the last option there is to share your lesson. You've got a number of options there, so you can share it through email, you can create a PDF that you can download, and when we get to the daily view later, you can actually do it as a link. So it's just a unique link that you can post anywhere. Like I said, I'll post mine to my class website so my students can have access to them at any time. And you can also embed them onto a website too if you're familiar with embed codes. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And so I just mentioned the sharing there. So from a daily view here, you can see the share button. So you can obviously print off anytime you want. If you want a paper copy of your lessons, you have an option to download as a PDF file, either by a daily or weekly view. You can email, so just by clicking the email button, you type in someone's email address or multiple email addresses, click send, and Planboard will send those off for you. And then the link or embed, where it creates a unique link for that lesson. The nice thing for this too is that it's an active link. So if you're running a class website, you can have a Google site or Weebly or something along those lines. If you link to a lesson, if you went to your entire semester right now and link them out with no content in there, it's a live link. So if you come back on the next day and add some content to that lesson, and a student comes to your website and clicks the link, they'll see that content. Or if you like change in a second and they refresh their page, that content would show up there for them. So it's an active link throughout. It kind of becomes yours. It's tied to that specific lesson. So any changes you make will kind of come on that link as well. All right, this is the second of my last video demos, and this one's on specific lesson plans. We'll kind of show you, take you through it there. So at this point, we're going to have you leave, watch this video, and come back and ask any questions. You'll have a chance to go and play. So after you finish the video, go into your builder yourself. It'll take about 5 minutes. You can try it out, click in a box, try the editing features, add a template if you want, or create a template. Play with that, shifting it up or down, and I'll take any question you guys have here. So Louise will post that in the link for you, and there it is. All right, enjoy. And when you get back, just give us a green check mark. All right, it looks like pretty much everybody's back now. Almost, if you're, there might be a couple people just finishing up here, but I want to be conscious of the time and make sure we finish for 9, and I got a few things to get through here. So, Louise, when you get a chance, if we can bring back up the screen, so I can kind of jump ahead. Thank you. I hope the lesson planning makes sense for you. Again, if you have any questions, I'm happy to stick around past 9, but I want to make sure we finish this off in time for people that need to go. So I'm jumping ahead here for a few other features that are left over. So I'm going to, again, if you want to play with lesson play builder, that's great, and feel free to play around as I'm talking here. All right, next thing we have talked about and kind of danced a few times is the idea of adding curriculum expectations. So within the, if you're looking at your lesson planner there, you can see the little button towards the bottom that says Add Standards or Curriculum Expectations. And you can click there, and once you've added them, you can see just kind of a quick glance at which ones you've added. So as you can see here, it has A1, A2, A3. And once you click on the ads, this is kind of the screen you're going to get. You can search, you can actually put in like keywords to search through that if you want. So again, if you're looking for an oral communication strand, you can put an oral communication all kind of filter for you, or you can just scroll down and see a list of all of them listed there. You can see which ones have been added and which ones haven't been by the naming there with either added or add. And just a reminder, we talked about this early on, but at the top off your dashboard, if you click on the standard/expectations icon in the top right beside the calendar, it'll bring you to this screen. You can kind of do some tracking throughout the semester for which pieces of curriculum you tagged off and which ones you haven't. So you can see here in this example, I've covered 6 of 85 so far. If I click on that green bar, it will take me into all 85, and it'll actually have a little green square besides which ones I have done and which ones I haven't. As you can see here, so I covered off A1, A2, and 3. They're covered up in green to know that I've covered them. The ones that are in gray are ones I have not covered. It's a really nice feature. I don't use it on a day-to-day basis for the tracking, but I'll check in maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the semester. It's kind of nice at the halfway point, the 3/4 point, to see what you have covered and what you haven't covered. All right. Last thing I want to talk in here before we get into actually OTF and the lessons OTF has built, which is a fantastic feature, is this brand new feature from Planboard. It only came out about a week and a half ago, and I'm really excited about it. So this is their new unit planner. And so when you're building your lessons there, if you had a chance to play around with the lessons, you probably see this little box that says unit beside it. So with that there, you can see again, we talked about day, week, or month view. You can also go look at your lessons from a unit perspective, course by course. You can take them off within a lesson plan or go and take them from the unit planner yourself. You have as many or as few units as you like, and you can do some rearranging. It's a really, really nice feature. So I'm just going to skip ahead here. And so once you click on that unit tab in the top right beside the day, week, month, you come to a screen that looks like this. Okay, and you're looking at a specific section at the time. So if you see over the top left there where it says math, if you click the little drag, the drop down arrow, you can look at any of their courses throughout the semester, but only looking at one at a time. So right now I'm looking at my math section. I can see the 2 units I've built in, the 2 lessons I've built in rather for unit 1. They're tagged off by color. You can color code, so you can see looking throughout the semester there. I can actually do editing from here as well. So I can see my lesson plan off to the right where it says primary math going for golden math questions. I can do any editing from there. And I can also do some editing for the specific yes or adds expectations for the overall unit by itself as well. All right, this is the shortest video of the bunch. It's only about 3 minutes long. It's the last one I'm going to be showing you from a video demo standpoint. So just if you want to see the unit planner in action, I'll let Louise post this last video in here. Again, it's only a few minutes. When we get back, we'll be looking at how you can actually take OTF lessons and add them into your lesson planner. But we're getting close to the end now. All right, looks like most of you have been through the video there, so I hope that has a quick idea for how the unit planner works. We've got one last thing I want to show you, and then we're done, for the demonstrations at least, and then I'm happy to stick around and answer any questions people may have. All right, last few features here, and I'm excited to kind of finish off with this. So let's go skip past this. All right, one of the best features in my mind with having an OTF Planboard account versus a regular Planboard account is that you get this kind of orange bar across the top. You can see the OTF symbol in the top left-hand corner. If you click on that, it takes you off to a database of lessons that OTF has built and curated and shared online for you. And you can actually very quickly search through them. They're organized very well in a variety of ways, so it's very easy to search them out. And then you can quickly and easily take a completed lesson and add it right into your Planboard account, which is an awesome feature. So if you want to click on that OTF Planboard button, it's going to take you off to a screen that looks like this. Now this has been recently updated, and it was good before. I think it's fantastic right now. So you can see you can browse by categories. They're actually organized by programs. So you can see like science program English. If I can scroll down to see, there's a lot of other subject areas as well that are covered off. It covers grades kindergarten through to grade 12. There's also tags. If you have a certain thing you're looking for, you can search by a tag. I believe OTF had like 80 to 100 tags or so for different things across disciplines, so you can search that way as well. And so once you find something you like, if you click on, say, program or science or English or another tag, you get an example like this. So I went into math to start off, and then I can see a list of lessons here. So you can add, they're kind of tied off by grade and what they're covering down. And I think if you search within the tags, Cheryl, you can search by grade that way too. You can put in like grade 7 math, and you can find some things that way as well. That's something they're building out right now. And so you can see a list of lessons here. And if you click on a specific one, it'll take you right to that specific lesson. You can see all the content there. It comes with, a lot of them come with resources built in, Word files or PDF files, handouts, a variety of things. And so, for example, if I clicked on one, I think, Cheryl, you actually asked earlier where I found the prior math coding for gold in math questions. This is one of the lessons built right within OTF. And so you can see the tags there, and it's kind of marked off for different things, and it comes with some attached files, and everything's kind of outlined for me there. And once I found a lesson I like, if I want to use, if I see that blue import button in the top hand right, if I just click import, a little box is going to pop up, and it's going to ask me whether, what course I want to add it to and what date I'd like to add it to. I select that, and when I go back to Planboard, it's going to be right there for me. Okay, as you can see, it looks right here. So if I select one I wanted, I'm going to click semester 2, pick the section. I can look at my unit planner here and pick a day I wanted to add it into. I can drag and drop to a specific date. I can come back and change it anytime later. So it's a really, really simple way to find some very robust lesson plans that OTF has curated and put together, and you can very simply add them to your own Planboard account right into your calendar. All right, that is the kind of complete end of my presentation here. Thank you for sticking with me through it all. Again, I'm sorry there's a lot of talking. I wish I had more time to kind of build questions in there and work with people one-on-one, but there's a lot to do, and like I said, there's even more features in Planboard that I didn't cover down in this presentation. It's a really, really fantastic program, and having an OTF account is very nice for those access to those lesson plans that we just kind of talked about there. So if you're looking to get going, you're more than welcome to. If you ever have questions about Planboard, I'm always happy to talk to people and take them through it. So you can find me on Twitter, Google+, or LinkedIn there. You can find me an email anytime. I'm happy to work with you and help to kind of take you through some problems. But if people